In order to be successful in AP Precalculus, you have to review your skills and the content knowledge in Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry. Today we're gonna do one of the prerequisite review for AP Precalculus, and that is linear functions. There are three forms for a linear equation. One is the slope-intercept form, and that is f of x equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. Okay? And m is the change in y over the change in x. That is y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Or you can have the slope as the rise over run. And the slope-intercept form is best to use when you graph a line, for graphing a line. The next is the point-slope form, and that is y minus y sub 1 equals m x times x minus x sub 1, where the m here is still the slope. And in a point-slope form, there is one point that is given, which is x1, y1. And the point-slope form is best in determining or to determine the equation of the line. The equation of the line. The third form is the standard form, and that is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are constants. We have here, where c over a 0 is the x-intercept, and 0 c over b is the y-intercept. And the standard form is best to use when you solve systems of equations. We're gonna use all these forms later on in solving a problem. Okay, so from here, we are now ready to solve one of the problem about linear equation. Let's do the example right here. A line passes through the points -1, -3, and -3 and 3. Find an equation for the line in all three forms for linear equations. All three forms, so we can summarize it here as the slope-intercept form. That's the first form. Then the second, we have the point slope form. Then we have the standard form. Okay. When we look at the problem, if I write the formula for slope-intercept form, we have f of x equals mx plus b. I might as well change that the f of x into y. So that's why we have y equals mx plus b. Okay. The problem is we don't have slope yet. And it's still the same thing in point slope form. So might as well we're going to solve for the slope, and that will be our first step. All right. So since 2 points are given, we can use these points in finding the slope. I could write it here as step 1. Find the slope. So slope, I will identify the points first. This will be y1, x1, y1. Hold on. I need some space. So might as well, I will write it here as step 1. I'll use the point -1, -3, then -3 and 3. I will identify this point as x1, y1. You can use either reach the point first. So I will use the points that are mentioned accordingly in the problem. Okay, this will be x sub 2, y sub 2. Alright, from the formula of slope, change in y over change in x. So you have y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So substituting, the slope would be y sub 2 is 3 minus y sub 1 is -3. And x sub 2 is -3. Minus the x sub 1, which is -1. Simplify more. Negative, that would be a positive 3. -3 plus 1. So that would become 6 over -2. The slope is -3. Okay. So we are now ready to solve the problem. I will do the point slope form first as my step 2. So what is the point slope form? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Why I'm using this? Since we don't have y-intercept here in the slope-intercept form. So might as well I will do the point slope form, and then I will derive the slope-intercept form from point slope form. Okay, I'm going to use the first point here. Substitute y1, this point, which is -3, equals the slope is -3, x minus x sub 1, which is -1. So simplifying, that would be y plus 3. I will simplify inside the parentheses first. Alright. So this is already in the point slope form. Y minus y1, slope x minus x sub 1. From here, I'm going to use the y plus 3, negative 3, x plus 1 to derive the slope-intercept form. Okay, let's simplify more. Distribute negative 3x. Negative 3 times 1, it's negative 3. Remember, in the slope-intercept form, y here is isolated. So that means I have to take out the positive 3 here by subtracting 3 on both sides. Now y is isolated by cancellation. So that would be y equals negative 3x minus 6. This is already in the slope-intercept form. All right. From the slope-intercept form, we can use that in order to get the standard form. Okay? Since what is the standard form? That is ax plus by equals c. Okay? So that means this 3x right here should be moved to the right side, to the left side, I mean. So by doing that, I will add 3x on both sides. So that would become 3x plus y equals negative 6. This is now in standard form. This is the ax. This is the by. And this is the c. Okay. Simple. Right? All right. So, I want you to do some practice. Practice this problem. And then I will go back to you and solve this problem with you on my next video. Let's see if you got it correctly. See you in my next video.